that moment when you've been working on college applications and then it happens and here you are. So I'm very pleased and proud for you. Welcome to the College of Arts and Sciences here. I'm Daniel Press. I'm Dean of the college. I've been at Santa Clara University since 2020, all pandemic, but coming out of it happily. With me today is Professor Patty Simoni. Patty, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, thanks, Daniel. So I am Patty Simoni. I'm a professor in the Department of Psychology and also an associate dean and co-chair of the neuroscience program.
Super. Thank you very much for being here, Patty. I'm guessing that most of you could not make it onto campus for our in-person preview day tomorrow. So I'm really grateful that you are here on Zoom to learn about this. So what I'm going to try to do today is give you an overview of the College of Arts and Sciences and really give you a flavor for the learning that you could have here. I hope that if you have questions that you'll use the chat function to let Patty know and others that you have something you want to ask. There'll be probably a follow-up. There'll be time for Q&A afterwards. I'm going to start with a snapshot overview of the college, looking at the departments. And while I'm talking about it, I'd like you to just try to imagine yourself here and imagine all the things you're going to be doing in the classroom, outside the classroom, curriculum, co-curricular activities, and just let it wash over you and see what it's going to be like to be here. All right, so let's jump in. So first of all, this is the College of Arts and Sciences. It's really the heart of Santa Clara University. It's where all the programs that are traditionally associated with liberal arts lie. And it's really characterized by really interdisciplinary teaching and research. We're very much educating in the Jesuit tradition of educating the whole person, mind, body, spirit. And that starts with a really engaging, innovative core curriculum and then goes out into the majors. So let's talk about those. I'm going to start with the arts, studio arts, music, theater, and dance, mostly performing arts. So these are absolutely wonderful programs here. I should add that we have an excellent creative writing program in the English department. This slide has a few examples for you of what we do here. Up there in the middle top, that's a picture of Professor Bruno Riviaro's class. He's leading a laptop orchestra. It's really cool. So using technologies together to produce music. Down there at the far right there, that's the Adisase Museum here. I guess I can use the cursor to right over here. And that's an opportunity for art and art history students to really get a chance to see how to put on exhibits and curate them. We have amazing faculty in the arts. One example is Professor Aldo Billingsley in our Department of Theater and Dance. So Aldo is an equity actor, which means that he's a card-carrying stage actor who is also performing in film and stage regularly. So he brings that very up-to-date experience into the classroom constantly, and that's really wonderful for our students. Let's move on to the natural sciences, which of course refers to studying the natural world in departments that include biology, chemistry and biochemistry, environmental studies and sciences, mathematics and computer science, neuroscience, one of Patty's home departments, physics and public health. Lots of great examples here. One example of the work that happens in sciences here is Professor Laura Kokos. She has funding from the National Institutes of Health, and she's studying neural activity related to the disease multiple sclerosis. So at the bottom right, there is an image of neurons in a mouse brain from Professor Kokos's lab. Professor Kokos was one of the first faculty hired in neuroscience. And neuroscience is an example of how we in the college respond to student interests. We had students in psychology and biology who were double majoring and trying to put together this neuroscience thing. And we said, hey, that's pretty cool. Let's have faculty create the major and accommodate students that way. It's really a very popular, wonderful major. The faculty in the science departments are award-winning. They're wonderful teacher scholars, and they've been recognized as such. We have no less than 4 faculty in the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry who have been recognized by as Henry Dreyfuss Teacher Scholars of the Year. The Henry Dreyfuss Teacher Scholar Award is precisely given to those chemistry and biochemistry faculty who are so good at the teaching and the research together that you can't say they're better at one or the other. They're just both, they're great at both. And that's something that we really pride ourselves on, cutting edge in both areas. Now let's move on to social sciences. Social sciences, study of human behavior. These include fields like political science, sociology, anthropology, child studies, communication, economics, military science, psychology. Big, lots and lots of different fields here. This slide shows images ranging from a campus archaeology project. That's in the middle there. We have at the bottom left, we have physical anthropology students who traveled to Costa Rica to conduct research. In the bottom right corner, there's psychology student Caitlin Escobar working in a lab with professors Matt Bell, Lisa Whitfield, and our own Patty Simoni. And this was a project on learning and memory. In the bottom center, you see student Maria Kuri Haddad, who worked with an economics professor, Michael Cavane, to write a guide to creating and sustaining ethical libraries in African villages. This was a project that was funded by the Markkula Center for Applied Ethics here at Santa Clara. Let's move on to humanities. Humanities, the study of how we process and document human experience and cultures. Now we have wonderful departments. These include classics. We have art history, English, ethnic studies, history, modern languages and literatures, philosophy, religious studies, and women's and gender studies. As you can see, anytime you see the word studies, that tells you right there that that's an interdisciplinary program. That's a program where there's not just a historian or just a sociologist. These are people who really mix it up and draw from a lot of different areas to center around a particular topic, problem, focus. And being somebody from environmental studies, I have a fondness and penchant for interdisciplinary work. It's very exciting. So that's those are the departments. They all are characterized by fostering creativity, innovation, risk-taking, critical thinking, collaboration, kinetic, active learning. Those are the hallmarks of a liberal arts education. That's what these departments do so well. Now, I didn't think of having a little vote in here, but we like to ask what people new to the campus think is the most popular major in the College of Arts and Sciences. I don't think we have a quite set up to do a vote, but I bet you might think psychology or biology or communication, but actually it's the major called undeclared. And that's because when you first get here, it's not surprisingly, you're working things out. You're thinking, what am I going to do? So for the first year or so, it's common for students to be undeclared. And that is more than okay. It's great. It means that you're in the core, you're there to sample widely around the curriculum, and you get excited by a whole bunch of things. One of the things that really struck me when I came to Santa Clara that I really love is that, I meet a student, I say, well, what's your major? When they say, well, I'm majoring this, I'm double majoring that, I have a minor over here, and I'm doing this and that. It seems like nobody's doing a single major in the college. And that's cool, that's great. It's easy to do, it's easy to set up. Well, it's not easy. It's very welcome to do that. And that means that you get to embrace a lot of these areas. It means that if you got excited as a psychology major, if you got excited by a religious studies course, you don't have to put that aside. You could also do that as a minor. So that's a wonderful part of being in the college. All right, let's talk a little bit about innovations in the classroom. Here's a picture of Natalie Linnell. She's a faculty member in the Department of Mathematics and Computer Science. I like to put her picture up here because she won our teaching award last year, which means that she's an especially energetic, engaging, and effective teacher. She's really terrific. Natalie worked with Professor Michelle Burnham in the Department of English to develop a digital humanities course. And that course taught humanities students how to code, program and code, and then science students how to work in book and publication archives. Again, mixing it up, bringing these two different worlds together in the same classroom. Here's another example. Let's see, did you see that? Oh, there it is. There's the professor pointing at the poster session. That's English professor Amy Luke, who partnered with anthropology professor Lee Panich on a course called Virtual Santa Clara. In that course, students study and contribute to a public memory project. And this one in particular focused on indigenous peoples here on the Santa Clara University site. The robot down there at the bottom right, that refers to Professor Navichikagi's project with religious studies Professor Mark Fusco. They put together a course called Theological Anthropology and Artificial Intelligence. Can machine intelligence ever become aware of itself as a transcendent being? Well, who knows? Take the course and find out. Here's another example. These are pictures from a course put on by English professor Kirsten Lunar and studio arts professor Kathy Aoki. The course is called Slow Tech, Critical Making with the Letterpress. And so students get to actually work with the old style letterpress printing machine to reflect and work on 19th century technologies of text making. We recently got that big, beautiful, heavy letterpress to work hands-on with students. We have many, many other facilities here in the college. I want to highlight this one. This is the Imaginarium, which is a virtual reality lab. So this is a terrific tool that faculty from all across the college use to enhance and expand their teaching. You might think that a virtual reality headset is just something that you're going to encounter in a computer science course, or maybe in a gaming programming course, but no, not so. We have Lisa Crofton Slay in classics, who developed a virtual reality module to help her Latin students, students taking Latin, build and reinforce vocabulary and then learn about Roman culture as well. We've also got Andrew Keener in English, who was teaching Shakespeare. He used the Imaginarium to have students in the Globe Theater experiencing the Globe as they might have during Elizabethan times. So lots of people using the Imaginarium to give students that kind of embodied feeling of the topic. A lot of fun. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't say that a whole lot of learning is happening beyond the classroom. Here are some examples of students collaborating with their faculty. On the far left, with that circular diagram, that's an image from a project that Professor Molly King from sociology worked on. She had a student, Maria Gregg, participate with her on an article called Disability and Climate Change. And that article was published in Sociology Compass, a peer-reviewed scholarly journal. And this is a new project that looks at how climate change impacts disability access and inclusion. In the middle of the slide, there's Ana Sampaio, professor from ethnic studies, with her students Celeste Munoz and Renee Perry. They presented an article, a paper at the Western Political Science Association meeting in Portland, in person, yay, this year. I don't know, that's going to be exciting for a while. And so what they were looking at, there's a great project that looked at Latina candidates for national office in California and Texas in 2018 and 2020, and looking at the particular obstacles and challenges that Latina candidates faced, but also what strategies they employed in their campaigns. And then the far right in the lab coats, that's Professor Grace Stokes from chemistry and biochemistry with her research student, Elliot Anderson. Elliot received a $50,000 Cottrell Post-Baccalaureate Award from the Research Corporation for Science Advancement. This award allows Elliot to work with Professor Stokes for 12 months after graduation, kind of extending his studies. Instead of a postdoc, it's post-bac. He's going to continue working on her peptoid membrane interaction studies. More examples beyond the classroom. There on the far left is Team Beetle with biology professor Elizabeth Dahlhoff. They were featured in an article in The Scientist called "Could Dad's Mitochondrial DNA Benefit Hybrids?" And they're discussing the surprising evidence that moms may not be the only parent that pass on mitochondria to their offspring. In the middle, that's Rachel Zhang from Public Health Science and Neuroscience, along with Natalie Kennedy, also public health science and also one of our soccer stars, who's now in medical schools. They collaborated with Professor Jamie Chang from Public Health, presenting their research entitled, "There's Nowhere to Go, the Impact of COVID-19 on Access to Health Resources Among Unhoused People." That was at the American Public Health Association annual meeting in Denver, Colorado. Yay, in person. Far right, psychology majors Gia Tsao and Eleanor Carper presented their research with their faculty sponsor, Professor Birgit Gutman-Holm. That was at the Harvard Women's in Psychology Annual Trends in Psychology Summit. What they look at is fascinating work that examines how facial expressions can express compassion differently in different cultural contexts. Pretty cool. So now, even further beyond the classroom, there are so many events, visitors, and fun things to do when you're on campus, in the college and beyond. You won't have time to do it all, but you'll try anyway, which is great. I'd like to highlight every year that we in the college bring an artist in residence, the Frank Sinatra Chair in the Performing Arts, to work closely with students on artistic projects. This year's artist is B.D. Wong, showed on the far right there, an award-winning actor on stage and screens. He's been in Jurassic Park, Law and Order SVU, American Horror Story. You might have seen him in Aquafina as Nora from Queens, among many others. We've had Anna DeVere Smith, the Silk Road Ensemble, W. Kamau Bell, Tay Diggs, Rhiannon Giddens. Very exciting, lots of fun. Now, I want to talk about internships. Again, thinking about your learning beyond the classroom. And I want to highlight the REAL program. REAL program stands for Real Experience Applied Learning. And this is a paid summer internship program that you can apply for in the college and get work to continue, get support to continue work in the summer. A lot of fun, very good. Here are some examples of real programs. Far left, Kat Kawada, who worked with Breakthrough Silicon Valley to teach math to rising ninth grade first generation students. Adam Graham, right there on the bottom right, developed a new device for measuring levels of dissolved oxygen in water. He worked with Naveed Shagagi. And then there are many, many international and global opportunities that you can also engage in. So we have a global engagement website that leads you into study abroad. That's what the middle picture there is. About 3/4 of the students at SCU who go on study abroad are from the College of Arts and Sciences, so you'll be in good company. We have students working also with 3 of our centers for distinction: the Ignatian Center for Jesuit Education, the Miller Center for Social Entrepreneurship, and the Markkula Center for Applied Ethics that I mentioned before. So as one example, sociology, psychology, and business students worked with the Miller Center on a microloan program with women in Zambia and Uganda. Excellent program. Thinking about more international work, if that's what you want to do, we have a Global Fellows program, the SCU Global Fellows program. It offers summer international internships to Santa Clara University students. Again, this is a chance for you to continue your academic work in the summer, but here you're supported to do so in an international context. The emphasis is on service, academics, and leadership. Students travel across the world to participate in a 6 to 8 week internship with a placement with a business or a non-governmental organization. Recently, students have traveled to Bolivia, Ghana, India, Morocco, Gambia. Great program. Similarly, there's the Global Social Benefit Fellowship, and that's a program that provides mentored field-based study and action research within a worldwide network of social entrepreneurs. Again, fully funded summer field experience with 2 quarters of academically rigorous research. It really is, in the Jesuit Catholic tradition, a program in active social justice research. It's a wonderful program. I'd like to talk some about how wonderful our students, you in the future, are. This year we had 4, last year we had 4 students named Fulbright Scholars, and I think we're on target for 4 this year. I know we have 3, but I think we may be on target for 4, which is really amazing for a university our size. Down there, far bottom left, that's Jasmine Birdsall, who was named a Knight Hennessy Scholar. She's currently studying and conducting research at Stanford in epidemiology and clinical research as a doctoral student. In the middle there is Omar Hamade, who has a Schwartzman Scholar. He's pursuing a master's degree and leadership program in Beijing. And then our own Abby Alvarez was named a Truman Scholar, our first since 1987, who will be pursuing law after graduation. Again, these are not one-offs. This happens every year. We have amazing students doing amazing things, partly because of the wonderful programs that are here, partly because, of course, students are great, you're great, and also because there's wonderful faculty mentorship. All right, so that was my roundup of the College of Arts and Sciences. I hope you got an idea for what it's like. We have a little bit of time for questions, but there's also going to be a Q&A session with 3 current Santa Clara University students. I think we're putting the link in the chat, is that right? But I'm going to stay on for questions that you might have for me, if anybody has any.
The Zoom link is in the chat.
Super, thank you. Thank you, Katie. Any questions for me?
Yeah, so like I have a question, like it's kind of not related to this one. It's kind of about financial aid. Like,
I think if it's a financial aid question, that would be something that we would want to send to the financial aid office. Maybe Katie, we can capture an email address or a contact and forward that on.
Sure. If you want to put in the chat to me privately, I will have someone follow up with you.
oh, my just my email, right?
Yes, or Gabby's already put in the chat. The onestop@scu.edu is also a place to ask for financial questions.
Okay, I will leave my email here.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Other questions for the college, about the college? Anybody? Any in the chat, Katie?
We've been answering questions throughout
Okay.
the chat, so
Okay.
we're pretty good. Thank you.
Great, great. I don't need to, I'm off the hook.
Thanks, everyone. Come and join us in the student session in
That'd be great.
5 minutes.
Great, great. I'll see you there.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Hi, Jean-Luc. You just joined us here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I'm so sorry that I arrived late. Is it?
No worries. This session is over, but it's being recorded and Admission will send everybody an email on how to access the recording.
Oh, okay.
But there is another session that's starting in 4 minutes on student panels. Do you
Oh.
need the link for that one?
If that would be all right, could you send
Yeah,
it?
I'm gonna put that in the chat. So hopefully, can you see the chat?
Yes, I can.
Add that in.
Hi, Jean-Luc. Nice to see you, or nice that you're here.
Thank you, Mr. Press. Really appreciate it.
Where are you from?
I'm from. I'll turn on my video real quick. I'm from San Francisco. And,
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
coming from school right now. So.
All right. Well, congratulations on admission. And if you have any questions, throughout the next weeks or so, don't hesitate to contact us.
I really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I'll send out if I have any questions.
Cool. All right.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you. All right, Katie, I think I'm going to go to the next session then.
All right, great.
All right.
See you all there.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.